Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Lead with curiosity, sister. Lead with curiosity. A very wise man said that to me today. His name is Daniel, and he's the marriage therapist that my husband and I have been seeing for the last 3 weeks. Now, we started marriage therapy because, not that we're on the verge of divorce or even anything close to that, but because our marriage is really, really good, and we want it to be even better. And we realized that there were times when we are fighting, or that if we're, when we're fighting specifically, that we at times will go back to old patterns. It's not for a long period of time, but it just seems like we're kind of going in a circle sometimes with some of these conversations. And so we've talked about it in the past, and it was like, oh no, like, we're not that, and we don't need it, and like, we do all this coaching and stuff, like for ourselves, let alone what we teach, what we live and who we are. And so it came back again recently. It's like, I asked Dad, I'm like, would you be open to seeing marriage therapists? He goes, yeah. So we found this guy. I went into, of course, Google, where we all find stuff, right? Went to Google, and I Googled best marriage therapists in Victoria, BC. There was a list of 3, 2 women and this one gentleman. His name is Daniel. And there's no picture. And I was really drawn to it because I was like, therapists I've seen. I remember seeing one years ago that was a man, but I don't know why, but I just saw it was going to be a woman. And I see him, it's like 2 women and this guy. And I'm like, I go, but there's no picture. So I click on it, it goes website, and I go, yeah, that's the guy. And he is like such a perfect fit for us. Like, oh my God, perfect. It's amazing. So he said that to me. And what often happens with my husband and I is when I see him and when he comes to me with challenges that are going on with him, with his business, personally, the same way that I go to him with those challenges, because I'm his queen and he's my king, and this is what you do in marriage, right? And my pattern will often be as I go into what Ed calls coaching mode. Big surprise, right? Like, it's who I am. So it's difficult on me at times when he comes to stuff, or if I see that, if I see something, right? It's kind of like with my clients. I mean, I'll call them out on things, right? And they want that, and they ask for that. My husband doesn't always want or ask for that, and it's not my place to just instantly go to that space. And then if he doesn't respond, then I go into attack mode. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that my style is my style. I'm saying my style. Who the fuck I am is very honest and forthright, and maybe a little bit in your face. Okay, maybe a lot in your face at times, with the best of intentions, I may add. However, that doesn't always work to try to influence people in your life. And so when Daniel was just really making suggestions on how I can really better interact with my husband, Ed, and he said those 3 words to me: lead with curiosity, right? When he is sharing stuff that's coming up, it's like, you almost to see it as like to be curious. Okay, well, so that must be hard, what's going on or what you're feeling right now. And, what can I do to support you? And like, what do you need? And lead with curiosity. See, it's easy for us to go to reaction, right? I can go there in a heartbeat. If I see that Ed is maybe tolerating something from a client, or maybe he's not, making a good choice with his health, with him having Crohn's, I can go to reaction mode. I can bring all the shit from the past and dump it right at his feet. And go, you know what, but this client this last time, and you know what, why are you letting people do this to you? You got to create better boundaries, blah, 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 bitching, nagging, coaching, nothing that he wants or needs from me. Now, if he was to say to me, hey, straight up, what do you think? Give me some feedback. That's a different thing, right? But if someone doesn't come at you with that way, or if you've asked permission, they go, no, I just want to just tell you. And you go, okay. And you still want to fucking give them feedback when they've said no. Like, it's that unsolicited advice, right? If you had that before, where it's like someone will say, well, you know what you really need? You really need this. And you're like, dude, I didn't even fucking ask you if I wanted your advice or feedback or help. And number two, what the fuck do you think you know about what I need? Like, that's where I go. I don't know where you go with the unsolicited advice. Maybe you're much more forgiving. Maybe you're much more, namaste. Thank you for your input. I think of in the movie Trolls, when there was the one troll, his name was not Branch, that was the Justin Timberlake, Creek. And he ended up being a fucking asshole in the end. He sold out the Trolls. However, if you haven't seen Trolls yet, number one, go see it. Number two, sorry if I just wrecked it for you. However, he has this one thing where he kind of like floats down. He's like the yogi, the all-knowing, the spiritual of the trolls. And some little creature, I think, kind of helps him drift down. He's like, namaste, safe passages to you. Like, that's kind of his way of being, of just everything's just lovely and cool. But for me, advice that I don't ask for, feedback that I don't ask for, criticism that I don't ask for, yeah, fuck you. That's how I'm going to take it. And I'm going to assume that not a lot of you are like Creek, and you are probably going to take it that way too. So when it comes to our spouses, why do we somehow think that it's any different? Because they're our partners or our husbands? Well, okay. I mean, I get it. It's not like a stranger or some of the trolls on Facebook and Instagram and stuff that think they want to give me feedback when I don't ask for it. But it's really no different. It's no different. Lead with curiosity. It's like not even like a puzzle to be solved, right? It's just kind of, let me just kind of like not react, because that's a choice. Let me not allow myself to be triggered, because that's also a choice. Kind of similar to reacting, right? Reacting from a trigger. Let me allow myself to just be in this space with him right now. Just like this might be more relevant to you with your kids, right? When I have my kids going like, I hate you, I don't love you. Like, my kids will fucking go there in a heartbeat, believe me. Because they know that those things in the past could drop me. Now I'm just like, buddy, the thing is, I actually love you, and your words, I'm not going to let them enter inside of me. And, often behind those words, behind the quick anger and stuff, there's something else that's going on. And it's my place to lead with curiosity, show my children how to really react and respond, which is if I react back to that, that's not teaching them anything. It just teaches them to try to be more aggressive, more explosive, more, anger coming at anger doesn't really solve anything. It doesn't. It just creates more anger. And so when I lead with curiosity with my children, how it looks is like, okay, what is Tyson really saying? What does Kai really want? And sometimes will say that to them. Tyson, I love you, sweetheart. What's going on right now? What do you need? Like, what is bothering you? Well, Mommy, it's really, I really got, like, when Kai said this and you didn't, he'll tell me then. When I lead with curiosity. When I lead with being a dictator, which I don't do that often anymore, but I can go there. I'm your mother and you shouldn't, and you should respect me, and I would never have said that to my mom, That's not leading with curiosity. That's leading with the fucking iron fist, right? Lead with curiosity. What does my child need in this moment? Right? Lead with curiosity. Who do I need to become in this moment? Who do I need to become to get what I want? Who do I need to become to be there for my husband, who's come to me and been very vulnerable, and this is what's happening? Who do I need to become to be the mom I want to be in the moment with my children and lead them? Lead with curiosity. So here's your more tip for today, then, sister. Who do you need to lead with more curiosity in your life right now? You're going to know right away. It's most likely going to be husband or kids. Maybe if you're not married and or have children, it's not going to go to that, but maybe it's going to be a really good friend. Perhaps it's going to be sibling, parent, client, coworker, neighbor. Like, who do you need to lead with curiosity? And I want you to journal this right now then too. So not only have you written down who you need to lead with curiosity, what do you think the outcome would be if you move from the space of either being reactive, think that you need to give advice and feedback, tell them what to do, and you simply chose instead to lead with curiosity? what do you think a difference would be in the outcome? What would that look like? What would that feel like for you inside? I can tell you right now, for me, when I start to go to the place of like giving advice, and just know, like, as a mindset coach and a mentor, I don't give advice. I'll give feedback when it's warranted and when it's asked for, but never advice. And when I find myself ever going to that point, I would find this way when I was in practice as a chiropractor. It kind of evolved into me just more asking questions back. Well, why do you think that? And what do you think that you need? And why do you think this is coming up? Versus, well, let me put on my doctor hat and show you what I fucking know about science and the research. Like, that always felt really, it didn't fit for me at all. It wasn't who I was. Still not who I am. So who is that person you need to lead with curiosity instead of the way that you've been showing up for them? And number 2 of that, when you're journaling this, is what do you think the outcome will be? What results will be? What will be the impact? How will you feel differently? How do you think that they may respond different when you lead from that place, which is respectful, honoring, and open? What do you think that difference will be? And journal that. So, sister, 3 things I'm going to share with you right now. Number 1, if you don't already subscribe to the podcast, go ahead and do that right now so you can make sure you get notifications 5 times a week when the episodes come out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're over 430 episodes right now. So, this way you'll make sure you get notification right when it comes out, because I know most of you listen on your phone. Number 2, if you've not already rated and reviewed the podcast, I would love and appreciate if you go ahead and leave a 5-star review. There's some haters on there. That's okay. I know, that's the unsolicited feedback, right? But let's drown out that hate with love. And just know that, your willingness to have a few minutes of your life to let me know, and to let others, more importantly, let others know what the podcast has done for you, what you think of it, why you would encourage the woman to listen to it, could potentially have another woman say like, oh, let me listen to this as well. And it completely shifts our world. So go ahead and subscribe and leave a review. In addition, to make sure to subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. It's crazy how many of you are not receiving the newsletter. Like, I send you shit. Did you know that? I send you free gifts. Here's what you get. Number 1, the More For Action Guide, how to start your day in power. It's a short video training and a downloadable PDF guide. Okay. Number 2, and this is actually something that's very brand new, is you're also going to get 2 very powerful training views. I did inside the Women Wanting More experience on how to drop the stories that are holding you back and how to create more stories and get the life that you truly want. These were fire, man. These are like hour training videos. So you're going to get both of those. And I had them on the page, and then I removed them because I wanted to make sure women actually freaking watched and didn't go, oh, I'll get to that later. But I actually saved them. And I knew I would use them for something. And so I realized that I wanted to actually gift that to you. And if you're already subscribed to the newsletter, I will be sending those out to you shortly. So you can also have privy to those 2 videos. So subscribe to the podcast, 5-star review, subscribe to the newsletter. Oh, and that, by the way, that's over at drkarenosborne.com. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.